All
right. Daria, your video got me thinking. I already responded to Gary's video, so I don't want to respond again. I don't want to put another video up there. But I didn't get some things out that I wanted to say on the response to him, so I'll just do it to your video. Got me thinking. You were talking about how you were tossing and turning and having trouble sleeping, trying to go over these questions in your head. And going through your video as you were talking about things, about living a life with the life of non-reality, which I agree. I would choose in the Matrix. I would choose I believe it was the blue pill, to stay there and live in bliss, by being ignorant to the real deal, what's going on, instead of waking up and having a miserable life. But, it got me thinking about a lot of reality, a lot of real things going on. And it's been like this for a while, but it's just, especially, I grew up, when I was growing up, kids went outside, and when they went outside, they played different outside children's games, chase and hide and go seek, and football and basketball, and a lot of outdoor activities. And I remember my first video game system was an Atari. I saved up and bought an Atari. My dad, gave me some chores, and I saved up and bought an Atari. And then, every new generation since then I have owned at one time or another. No longer. I just got rid of my 360, but yeah, I'm a little old to play video games, I guess. But I just don't have time for it anymore. But the more we further along in this society of technology, the more it allows us to be hermits, in effect, to live in this fantasy world within a fantasy world. And what I mean is, YouTube's a perfect example. When I was 14 or 15, I got my amateur radio license, a ham operator. And actually, I got that when I was closer to 20, but I got on regular citizen band radio. And then I would meet people in groups, just to have a good time and converse and what have you. And in a way, I think that's what YouTube has taken place. I still have my license. I want to go and get back into it, but I just haven't had the time or means to get all my equipment set up again. But in a lot of ways, YouTube has sort of taken that place of when I was younger. But the difference is that no longer is it as personable. I'm talking to you through a camera. You have no way to respond except to respond in a time of your choosing. In other words, it's not a direct response. You can't say, well, yeah, I agree with this, but here's my point. Where am I going with this? What I'm saying is, we have cocooned ourselves in this world with technology that allows us not to interact with other people. So in a sense, we're living in this world, the Matrix world right now. I have a high definition TV. I can watch a football game. And believe me, if I could go, I would go. But my team is, 1,600 miles away, or probably 1,000. But, I can watch the game from the comfort of my home. It used to be a time you go to a sports bar. Now you can just have it at your house, and you don't have to get up or do anything, And I have this high definition TV, which is, just beautiful picture. I can see things of nature on there and get a better idea of what it really looks like. Everything's digitalized. It just got me to thinking, we really have put ourselves in a world where we don't have to interact, in the way that previous generations would have to do. I don't know if that's good or bad, but I want to get back to, going and meeting people, meet and greet, shaking hands, exchanging ideas. It's just way too easy to get on this camera and say, you know what, you're a moron or you're an asshole. It reminds me of the syndrome. I always hate it when people are driving on the road and maybe you make a mistake and pull over. You didn't see them, they were in your blind spot. And then that person is slamming on his horn, giving you the middle finger, cursing you out. Whether it's a man or female, it could be either. But what particularly gets me, I think it's interesting, is the female that does it. Because knowing good and well that if you were outside of that car, she would probably, and there are a lot of guys too, that would probably be saying, oh, that's okay, and you'd say, I'm sorry, and they would say, oh, that's okay. But when they get behind this wheel, they're protected by this cocoon, and they can just, let you have it. And that's what YouTube reminds me of a little bit. I can sit there and I can insult your mother, your country, I can say whatever I want about you without any fear that you may just come over the screen and hit me in the nose, deservedly so. So anyway, it just got me thinking some of the things you were saying, and I just had these thoughts run through my mind. I wanted to put them on a video and post them. All right, got that off my chest.